Hi, welcome to Olives. My name is Olivia. If you're new here, in this video, I'll walk you through the process of how I made this dress. It's a flare dress with the bodice being fitted kimono and with a stylish built-up neckline. The sleeve comes together with the bodice. At the hem of the sleeve, we have some turn-up going on here. If you're interested to learn, keep on watching. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. If you're an OG, thank you for always stopping by to learn with me. Let's get right into this video. I'm going for something like a panel on the bodice of this kimono, the back. So this is roughly what we are about to do. I might as well add pockets to the sides. To draft the bodice part of this dress, we are going to be needing our normal basic bodice pattern, both front and back. Okay, the link to this tutorial, in case you are interested, will be in the description box. The back remains the same. For this particular dress, I really don't want to make use of the underarm dart. Okay, we are going to transfer this underarm dart to the waist dart. For this reason, I have this pattern here which has the waist dart. It means I have transferred this to this, so we just save little time. I've gone ahead to transfer my patterns, and this is the front with all the details. Here is also the back pattern, and this is the shoulder line. Okay, so above this shoulder line, or my starting point, I left about 4 inches, which is also going to accommodate the built-up neckline. Also, for the sake of the kimono, I left enough space here, okay, to accommodate the sleeve. So I have here about more than 13 inches difference. I believe this should be an easy way since we have our bodies ready. The first stage is to extend this shoulder line this way. I'm going to place it this way. Okay, right here, this is where the normal hole stops, right? So from the center front, I'm going to measure, and this is about 7 inches, 7.1. So I'm going to make sure on the chest line, just like a guideline, I'm going to have 7.1 here. Okay, so it's going to be like this. This was how it was before we created our armhole. The length of the sleeve starts from here. Okay, so I'm going to measure from here about 5 inches. That will be the length of my sleeve. Okay, and then from here I'm also going to mark the same 5 inches, but we are not going to make use of this, right? We'll come down from the chest line by about 1 inch, depending on how free you want the kimono to be. 1 inch, 1/4, 1.5. So let's go for 1.25 inch. All right, come down by whatever ease you want. I want a total armhole width, okay, of 14 inches, which is 7. So I'm going to go up from here. Okay, it means that my shoulder line is changing a little. This is what I'm talking about. I want mine to be 14, so I'm going to have something like this, just a little ease. But let's assume you want 16. You're going to divide 16 by 2, which is 8. So I'll place it this way and mark the 8, and then make sure it follows the shoulder line. That's what I want you to understand. Okay, I'm going to maintain this 7 inches. I'm just going to take off this guideline. I still have my width here. I'm just going to draw that also this way. This side, you go out from here by 1 inch and then connect them this way. So literally, this is the kimono. For the built-up neckline, I want the neck width to be a bit wider than the usual 3 inches width. I want mine to be about 3.5. From the center front, I'll mark 3.5 like this, and I'm just going to straighten it up. So from here, we have to determine how high we want this built up to look like. I'll use about 2 inches. And I'm also going to make sure that I mark the same 2 inches here. So this is what we have. Okay, I'll go in by about ½ inch from here, and then take it from this ½ inch and blend it together with the shoulder. Now let's go ahead to work on the neckline. From the shoulder line, this is not our shoulder, this is the shoulder line. So right from here, I'm going to determine the depth of the neckline I'm going for. I'll go up a little bit above the 6 inches. I'm going to use a total width opening of 4.5 inches, so that is about 2¼ inch. So from here, I'm going to mark 2¼ inch. This neckline is more or less like a square, but it's not a square. Okay, so I'm going to pick it this way just as a guideline. Okay, so if you want this opening to be wider, then you determine the width and then you mark it. You get, and then I just straighten it up so it can help us curve however we want it to be. All right, let me just use the 2.5 inches. All right, let's say we want to use about 1.5. Okay, from the neck width, the 3.5 neck width, 1.5 or 1¾ inch. So that means you are going to make sure that the curve, the edge of the curve touches your guideline. So I'll prefer the 1.5. I'm just going to follow the edge of my curve. You see, just with the 1.5 inch guideline, my neck depth stops here. We can now create the curve we are looking for at this area. So all I'm going to do is to use the inner part of the armhole curve to see the result I'll get. If I'm okay with it, then I'll go for it. I'll go down here by about 1¼ inch. Also making sure that the same across back measurement we have here is here. All right, so from here I'm going to make sure I have 5 inches. From here I'm also going to make sure I have 5 inches. I mean here. That's from here. So here I have my 5 inches. So for this particular one, it's just going to go straight. Okay, and then the width of the armhole we used is 7 inches. Okay, so I'm going to mark this 7 inches here. I'm going to make sure I have something like this, and this also goes this way. I'm going to use my curve and then blend it in. I'm also going to straighten up this center back. Yeah, this is my center back, and I'm going to add zip extension afterwards. We are going to use the same height we use for the front, which is 2 inches, and also use the same width, which is 3.5 inches from the center back. Marking the ½ inch and then blend them together. I'll use like about ½ inch. This is out of our back. All I'm going to do is to add my zip extension, which will be 1 inch. Okay, ½ inch allowance at the neckline, the shoulder, the waist, the side. I will use about 3/4 inch to the front. I want to work on contouring the underbust, so I'm going to locate my shoulder to underbust. Now that I know where my underbust is, I'm just going to contour the underbust. So I'm just going to mark a straight line from here. Okay, All I need is the round measurement of my underbust, roughly 31 inches. Okay, 31 divided by 4, 7 3/4. I'm going to make sure all I have around the underbust is 7 3/4. Whatever I have here is 3.5 inches. Okay, I'm going to take out this dart. So away from the dart, 3.5 inches again, I have 7 3/4. So I have roughly about 1 inch, exactly 1 inch actually. So I'm going to mark away from the dart. Okay, away from the dart. We don't need the dart. I just measured without the dart. All right, so I'm going to mark, split it into 2, so half inch away from the dart. So I remeasured and I realized that my underbust, this is my chest. Okay, my nipple is 9.5 and my underbust is 12.5. Okay, so this is the 12.5, not here. So I'm going to remeasure again. I'm going to remeasure 3.5, exclude the dart, 3.5, whatever I have here. So for this particular one, I have less than 1 inch. Okay, so I'm still going to mark about quarter, close to quarter, or a little bit more than quarter inch, just to contour the underbust. So I'm going to follow my shoulder to knee hole, follow here to the underbust. If you are wondering how we are going to sew this is what we are going to do. We are going to mark about half inch or maybe quarter inch, depending on the allowance you want to use to join them together. Okay, you can't sew this hole, that it's going to be too big and it will be showing in the dress, which is not good. Okay, so we just need about half inch, quarter inch. Let's do it. So I'm going to use this 1 centimeter. We can just mark a 1 cm, 1 cm here. Okay, about 3/4 inch, and then we do it this way. So it's still going to shape into a dart. Okay, yeah, we have to cut here out. We do not need here. I'm literally going to go ahead and add allowance, half inch allowance, following the shape. My side seam is going to be 3/4 inch. I'm also going to follow the shape and add my allowance. For the back, we have a panel. All right, so what I'm going to do is to dislocate that location. So I'm going to mark about 3 inches from the side seam. Okay, that is where I want the panel to be. I'll mark half inch on both sides like a normal dart. Okay, so whatever I have from after marking the 3 inches, whatever I have from there to the center back, I'll note it and measure the same thing from the center back like this. Okay, so I could have a straight line like this. So we are no more going to use this dart. Okay, I'm going to mark 1.5 inch from here and then just make sure I kind of connect them together. Okay, I'm just going to use my curve and connect them together. This will be B1 and here will be B2, which we are going to take this whole place, we are going to cut it off, and while cutting on the pattern, I'll add allowance to both sides so we can join them together. My zip extension, 1 inch. I want to have a turn-up at the sleeve area, so that is also going to serve as allowance at the hem of the sleeve. Now the turn-up means we are going to turn like twice, okay, to have that turn-up effect. I'll use a total width of 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches away from the hem. So this is the total of 2.5 inches. I've marked them accordingly as in how it's going to be. Okay, so I'm going to fold it backwards like this first. Okay, and then fold this 1/2 inch in. Okay, and then I'll fold it. However I'm folding, it's how it's going to be. So do you see where this has gone to? So it would have been a disaster. So I'm just going to follow that shape. So this way I can follow and cut, or just use a tracing wheel. This is the shape my tracing wheel is giving me. So I'm just going to follow that shape and cut out. All right, we'll continue the making of this dress in the next episode, but I hope you learned something from this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell to be notified when the next episode is uploaded. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.